wanted to talk a little bit about a pencil that I purchased off of eBay. It's a Johnson and Mattey sterling silver pencil. It's actually in a 1.18 millimeter size, made by actually Yard OLED. There isn't a whole lot of information out about this pencil, other than I was able to date it from 1947. It's I think it's kind of interesting because it has all of its hallmarks, and also you can get them a little bit less than what a Yard OLED would run. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but I'll try to zoom in. It has made in England. It's got its trademarks there. It also has it on the cap here, on the clip, the little hallmarks, and one here too where it disconnects from the barrel. Try to zoom back out so you can see it a little bit better. Anyways, I know I don't have the best setup, but I'm hoping this is a little bit better. The thing that I thought was kind of interesting about it is it came with a bunch of LEDs that were branded Yard OLED, particularly this one here. Actually says, well, you know what, it doesn't say. They say they were Yard OLEDs, but it doesn't say it on there. But I do believe they're right. I have another pencil. It's this one here. It's actually a Scripto, number 4-47, and I had some 1.1 millimeter LEDs that I got from well, I guess it was basically like a Auto Point pencil, Right in the Rain, one of their branded pencils that had 1.1 millimeter lead, and those LEDs wouldn't fit in here, they would slip out. So I put one of these in here and it works. So they're a little bit bigger, the ones that they came with. And I know, like, in this description it actually said Yard OLED, but they're not. I may purchase some to see if I can make it work, because one of the things that happened with this is that the lead that it came with doesn't fit it. It actually slips out of the barrel. What I'll do is I'll just kind of show you here real quick. Essentially, you shouldn't be able to push it through the front end of the barrel. You have to be able to push it through the back end. I actually have to because I had some lead in there. I removed it. It kind of fits in there. See that? So if you load it properly, and by the way, this is how you load this particular pencil. First you retract it all the way in, and you put the lead in through the top like that, and then you put the cap back on and screw it in. So technically these are supposed to be 1.1 millimeter LEDs, but as you can see they just fall out like that. So anyhow, what I did, and I don't know if this is going to be a problem or not down the road, the way I figure it is at least it's working and they're easy to find. I had some Campus 1.3 millimeter B lead, and I also have some in a 2B, but I took a piece of it and I broke it kind of in half a little bit so it would fit, and then I just went ahead and put that in there. And the lead is softer, so basically what it did was it kind of just pushed through the top of it. It ended up working fine. The only thing I will say is you can't push it back in, so once it's extended, you're basically stuck with the lead. But it as you can see, it doesn't. We're going to do it one more time here. And get it to fit completely. Okay, So it sticks, it doesn't fall out, and it works. So, and it, you know, this is a 1 point. So the lead that's in there, like I said, it's campus 1.3 millimeter B lead. And, you know, I mean, obviously, actually, the thing I think I like about that is it's a lot darker lead than like what it would have come with. They're very limited on the 1.18 millimeter is what it's supposed to take. That's what's supposed to be in this pencil, because it is a yard of lead, so technically it really should have a 1.18 millimeter lead, which you really can't tell too much difference between the 1.1 millimeter and let's say like a 1.1 millimeter. This is another antique pencil, and this has got a 1.1 millimeter lead in there. So you can kind of see that's 1.1, 1.18, and this is technically like whoops, sorry, running with the wrong pencil. Technically this is supposed to be 1.18 millimeter too, but I'm using 1.13 millimeter in there. And of course, every time you run it through, it kind of shaves it down a little bit. But you can definitely tell 1.13, even though it's darker lead, it's darker and softer than this. This I would say is probably an HB lead. So it's writing a lot darker, but it's also writing a little bit thicker, I think. So 1.13. Might be, obviously, because it's being pushed through a smaller barrel, it's probably more like 1.2, if there's such a thing. So anyhow, the pencil is relatively easy to use. You know, you can just basically fill it the way I showed you. It doesn't have an eraser in it, so it's basically just the pencil, which is fine. And I really, you know, the weight of it, the size, I mean, even though it is a little smaller, it actually is nice. The tapered edge really has a nice feel to it, and it is solid silver. I polished it a bit, but it is solid silver. So anyhow, matter of fact, Johnson and Mattey is a silver company. They actually produce like silver bars, and what I was able to find is that they at one point, I guess, either purchased or commissioned Yarda lead to make pencils for them, and for a while Yarda lead made those, and this is the particular pencil they made. I will also say the clip is really good. It holds onto your shirt very nicely, and considering the pen is from 1947, I mean, that's amazing. Like this here, you can kind of see how it's a little bit gapped open. It still works, but it's not nearly as good as the Johnson & Mattey, and this actually is silver plate, which I think is kind of interesting how when you look at silver plate, it kind of blotches a bit. I think it maybe at one time this pencil may have had some sort of like protective coating over it. If you're interested, this is a Eversharp pencil, so it's I think it's called Wall Eversharp. It's a US made pencil, and actually I think it's really nice because it's a good size. It has nice good size. It's not heavy, but it's not a light pencil, and again, you know, with these kind of pencils you can't retract them, so I have to remind that, like, every time I put it in my shirt pocket, I kind of have to pull my shirt pocket out a little bit and then put the pencil in, and knowing that the lead's going to kind of like mark up my inside of my pocket, but it washes out, so it's no big deal. This pencil I think is kind of interesting because it actually retracts, and I don't know how they did that, but it's friction. I'll do kind of a quick review on this one too, but you can actually retract it back into it, and that's something you can't do with these. And you load it through the front, or at least that's the only way I've been able to figure it out. And it also has like this eraser. And now, by the way, what I did was I took an eraser from another pencil and I just took it out, and then I put a little bit of tape around it and I just pushed it in there, and it works great. I mean, you know, I think they really knew how to really do these, because Like, this is a very easy thing to fix and repair, and even like the cap, it kind of reminds me of Caran d'Ache when they're like pencils, the way it's designed. And it doesn't roll around on your desk. The same thing with this. This one, of course, with the clip will keep it in place too. There are a lot of good benefits about, you know, using these kind of pencils. And you know, they're still out there. Like this one I got off of eBay. I only paid $30 plus some shipping on it. So maybe it was $36 plus shipping. Shipping wasn't very much. So I want to say it was around, maybe it might have been around $40 or so. For a solid silver pencil, I think that's a really good buy. This one I bought for 20 bucks. And it was kind of tarnished, but I just polished it up. And you can find these, I found a few on there that were like closer to like, well actually there's one on there for $5 right now, but I think that the finish might be eaten through, because underneath this is I think it might be brass or something. So another thing too is this pencil, I kind of getting a bit off track, supposedly has an eraser somewhere, and I haven't been able to figure it out. I tried to remove this top, but I don't want to force it because I don't want to break the pencil, but I think supposedly there's supposed to be an eraser in here. According to the Eversharp catalog, it has a replaceable eraser, and that's not the case. And matter of fact, you can pull this out, and you can see I put a little piece of lead in there. Supposedly you're supposed to be able to keep lead in there, and I find this very fiddly. It's a little hard to keep lead in it. That's another thing too, these pencils aren't very good for like if you want to carry extra lead, but one thing I will say is the lead's thicker and it doesn't seem to break as easy, so it actually lasts longer. So you know, you get more longevity, I think, out of the pencil than you would like a normal pencil, like some of the normal mechanical pencils out there where they're always kind of breaking. So the lead's hard to remove. And then this one here, basically it's what they call rifled barreled, which I think is kind of interesting. There, see that broke a little bit. It was a piece from the original lead. But what you do is basically push this back like this, and then you put your lead into the barrel. Just drop it, gravity fit it, just fits right in there. In fact, I don't know if I could put this in there. Try it. I don't think it'll work. And then you just push this in, and then this little like clip here connects, and then you just twist it, and you can kind of just push it back in there. And as you do that, of course now I probably messed it up right now. Yeah, it's not gonna work. This one's a little more fiddly, but the way it's designed, I think, see, I broke it. So basically it can really only handle one piece of lead at a time. And I had a few little issues with this one, but basically like you just knock them out, and because they're all fitted in a way that's friction, I guess, is the best way to describe it. The leads in there are based off of friction, and as you twist it, it'll eventually bring that one little metal thing down, and it'll push the lead out. Maybe. There you go. So it's starting to come out. So this lead is from the Right in the Rain, which is Auto Point. And you can see it, they say it's HB, but it looks like it's lighter than HB. This is actually, has the vintage lead in it. And from this here, and this stuff is, you know, I mean, it's quite old, so it's a old lead. I don't know. It looks like an HB, I would say. You can definitely tell this is a B. It's dark. Anyways, if you have any questions, or if you know anything about the pencil and want to add to it, feel free to leave comments below, and appreciate it. Thank you.